know. And I was just gonna use the Figma board that I'm making to have a visualization. And there is some
Wow.
software. There, but I think honestly, right now, if we all can kind of see, if we have a reference where we can see, okay, this is who's and what and how often. Because I mean, for half the world, it's bedtime, and having recordings of the meetings is really important, and also just being aware is the second half of all of that. This is the big part of coordination failure for so many DAOs, is being able to sync up with time, because I mean, crypto is global. Fact of the matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello, guys. Sorry,
Hey,
I'm
Sujal.
a little bit late, right? But better late than never, right?
Yeah, we were just discussing about time zones and how do we get everyone synced up. And Trite was like working on something which should be, and he'll check overlaps. So that will be good, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Also, do we have when I tag people like in general, or something, should I be tagging here? Should I be tagging everyone? Should I be tagging creators? What role should I be tagging for something like
Uh,
this, where I'm saying, what time zone are
So
you in? What's your availability?
I think,
I can. Let me talk
yeah.
on this. Again, if you go to any of the channels that have a brick, like if you look at Complify, or you look at Building Creator, they have bricks beside them. That means that only creators who are people who have been like selected as someone who's going to contribute, and not just like a lurker who just kind of found his way inside. Those are creators. So if you want to talk to everybody, if you want to get everyone's like time zone, when they are, who they are, and whether or not they can participate, I would suggest you use one of the channels inside Building Creator. Maybe you can use, I don't know, maybe Onboarding Creator. Maybe we make a new one, Creator Only General Chat,
That's fine
and then
for right
just
now. I'm
put
in there.
and then just put at here for that. And then
Great.
at here
Okay.
would just basically only the people who can be in there will be tagged. If you use everyone, that's gonna get every single person.
Yep. It's a pain in the butt. Yep.
Yeah. You don't just use at here, or because if I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but like I
No,
don't know,
so
like
we have a creators only chat, and you can use at creators as well. So it just works out.
Cool. Okay. I was
yeah, I
wondering if
think
that
at
was that
creator might
also.
work too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It would is every I guess all the multi-sig have been given at creator roles too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Does
Yeah.
it say?
Everyone
Does it
has
say
everyone
creator
has
cred?
creator roles. If you are a creator, and people who are multi-sig, they have a separate role called multi-sig.
Is creator cred a person, or is that a role?
Yeah, no,
It's a
that's
role.
that's not the role. Hey, the role, you've got to use the ETH symbol, which is kind of annoying. But that's how you get the
No, you
creator
can
role.
just tag CR and it works.
Which
Like
one?
at the rate CR. Yeah, you can find it.
Are you sure? Because I couldn't.
Yeah, I do it every day.
Really? Because I
Yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
find it.
Just put at CR and then it'll work.
Doesn't
Yeah.
work for me.
And I think we should do something about the ETH symbol, because it's very hard for me to look for the groups.
It's cool though.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
Yep.
actually, even for me, I was just trying to pin the post on Telegram. I couldn't find the group.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
have to find Dunk, and then I see common groups, and then I do
You,
stuff.
yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like I've been using the E instead of the E symbol for a lot of things. I think it's fine to use
So
both.
maybe
Yeah.
in the name we can keep E, and in the logo we can have the ETH symbol.
Agreed.
My
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, agreed. We should just
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
think it has to be as easy as possible to find. So whatever's easier. It like typing an E is way easier than typing the ETH symbol.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, okay, so we'll update the Telegram group now. Yeah. Because someone was saying you can't search in it. You can't find it. Which may actually kind of be a good thing, actually. Because the Telegram group's like a nice little group, you know. Anyway, I'll update it now.
Awesome.
We'll get rid of the diamonds as well.
I mean, can I take a quick feedback on, I mean, I know you guys already spoke, but how was the Twitter space today? Is there anything like, we can do better?
I have a question for you. I was looking at something, and I don't know. Did you use your cell phone or your
I did.
computer? Because I couldn't figure out any way to use my computer to talk.
No, you can't talk using the computer, so I had to use the cell phone.
Oh, okay. So it's just Dunks using the computer to capture,
Record.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
That's why Dunks couldn't speak.
I think the call. Yeah, I get it. I think the call was fantastic. I think we did a very good job of covering the grounds of like you said of covering the general, getting them to talk, but then also giving them some deeper questions. I thought it was quite good. I liked the idea that I was able to come up with some feedback that they kind of put them on like in the spot, like, oh, that's a good idea, right? Because I feel like this is also something we can offer. It's not just us, selling them or marketing for them, but actually also giving them like insight into things. Like, we have DeFi knowledge, and we should be able to add this to the package. We can consult them to some degree. I'm not sure how far like Kowloon
I think
can.
initially it will just be like, pro bono, and then maybe we can, because I completely agree, because you actually went and used the protocol and saw everything happening, and you do it on day-to-day basis. That's how your questions were framed and your suggestions were framed, which I think they quite appreciated whatever came from you. So I think that was very wholesome part of the uh, conversation. So just to give you context, guys, Gaurang and Max, uh, so we did a Twitter Spaces with Basket DAO today, and the format was quite nice. That we started with very broad questions and like explained to us like we are five, and then we dug deeper into intricate details on like whatever they're building and whatever contracts they're using, and Scissor, as he's like a all of us here are like heavy DeFi users, so like we added a lot of lot of suggestions, lot of brainstorming which happened, and I think people kind of like that instead of just Q&A questions with just like random questions and just completing the list.
One of the things I can say is that like some of the questions that I asked, I knew the answer to, but I asked it anyways to get them to remind them in a way to speak on it, even though I knew what the answer was. Like, I knew there was no staking of the basket token anymore. However, I asked it in order to make them remember to mention it. So to make it look more natural and organic, instead of like, oh, by the way, you guys didn't say this, because that makes them look like they forgot. But if I say, hey, what about this? Then so I did this on purpose. But like when I say we can add this to the package, I'm not saying specifically like, say, you have to pay us like $1,000 and Caesar will ask you 6, in-depth questions. No, but like this is part of the idea that like we will do a Twitter space with you where we will ask you questions, give you general ideas, give you some in-depth questions to help you to explain your product, and maybe give you some some constructive criticism or feedback. And I think this is part of like what we can sell as the package of Twitter Space, because we didn't have a huge audience, and that's something I think we need to develop. If we had 70 people listening, that would be much better than just the group we did have, right?
Yeah,
So this is
but
something.
it also works out because the audience right now it won't matter because we get pillar content for ourselves, which can be used by our creators to create more content, or like just get a general idea of like what's happening. And also that was also probably because of the time zone, because entire US was probably asleep by then. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I said to
yeah,
them at the start
yeah,
too. Like they're like, "Oh, what is this?" And how is this going to go? And I said, "We're
yeah,
basically like asking you questions in
yeah.
order to
So
build content." So we should continue to sell that way.
yeah, instead of doing a Zoom call with like just four of us and their team, we can just do it like what do you say, on a Twitter space, and it's the same thing and people still join, and like it's fun, I guess, right?
I have no problem with like 6 people coming in right in the middle
Yeah,
with 40 people in the audience, 100. I have no problem with any of this. I have.
awesome.
So yeah, whoever's in the audience, it doesn't matter to me. I really liked this. I thought it was a good learning session, and
Mm.
I can see it anyway I would be comfortable with this. I thought it was fantastic. What did you think, Dunks? You were listening, but you were not speaking.
I can tell.
What did you think about it?
I can tell you that I chatted with Basket DAO afterwards, and they really enjoyed it. And they said you guys asked really solid questions. Many of those we spent a lot of time thinking and discussing among ourselves, but they never made it out into the world. So the fact we get to express them feels pretty nice, to be honest. And then they said, and then Lingonberry said, yeah, this, like agreeing with Tundra. And then he said, a lot of our considerations are behind the scenes. We definitely feel that we haven't conveyed all of them to investors as well as we could have. And like, honestly, I think that like this would be like a recurring theme, is just because when you're like deep in a project, like it's like all of the stuff that's going on, but like to actually get that out to the community in a really like what D Raj said at the beginning, like we're just gonna talk through like the basics and make this as simple as possible. And everything they said was like perfect. Like they did such a good job, in my opinion. Like they came off really well, I think. And so I think they were really happy. And it would have been a good build up for them for the AMA with Sushi, which I'm also going to record, and which we can probably also grab like a bunch of extra content from. And I think that they're really enjoying working with us in general.
I thought they handled that final question I gave them quite well. Like it threw them off, but they put some thought into it, and they came up with answers that were honest and made sense to me. Like I didn't suggest it in the sense that I thought it was better. I just wanted to hear like what, this is an idea. Here's an idea. What do you think of this? And kind of set them back, but they were like, this is good. And then their answer was, like you said, it was fantastic. They handled that question very well. And I think that alone makes them look very good, in the sense of like if someone hears that question and then hears their response, I think they will feel like, oh, these guys are good. These guys know. These guys are smart. They've got the idea out, because it's a legitimate idea to like, instead of having votes to pass proposals, have votes to reject proposals, and it would make sense in some senses. But what he said about people having votes go through without actually they wanted to reject but they didn't have time to reject, or you'd have to lengthen the time of the proposal, and that might make it invalid in itself, right? So I thought they handled these questions very good, and I think I'm happy with the outcome of the entire call.
Awesome.
Yeah, me too. Gabriel.
Hey, so Gabriel is here.
Yeah, hey guys. I gotta jump pretty soon. I got an interview with Dimitri in 10 minutes from Complify. And I'm also doing an interview with Mark from Genomes
Mhm.
later as well. Also have a sales call. I told Diraj, but Zero Swap, they booked a call with us today.
Mhm.
Great work on the Twitter Spaces. Sounds like it went amazing. I didn't have time to check it out, but great job. I saw the YouTube video from the last meeting get posted, which is great. I think that we should start putting out more content, like our own content. So, taking clips from that conversation, putting it up there, just like we do for the clients. I think we can start doing that. Another thing that I was thinking about is we should make a report for Complify just to show, okay, like this is what we did. Basically, do you want to renew? Essentially, because we want to show, like, okay, we're hitting our targets. Like, do you want to do it again? So that's like the number one thing I'm thinking about is like just showing good work we did for Complify in like a document and a report, and then sending it over to them. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with this completely. We had a talk about this the other day in one of the talks that we were having, and yeah, like it's quite essential. If we hand them a document saying, "Listen, this is what we produced, this is what we done," it gives us closure in the sense, even whether or not they want to continue or not. Then it kind of closes that first door and then allows them to open another door instead of kind of like hanging on to the end. Because of course, if we don't tell them it's over, they're just going, why would they tell us it's over? They would just let us keep riding. So we have to kind of, draw the line somewhere in a sense of like, oh, here's our report. This is what we did. Where did we fall short anywhere? Did we over exceed? Or which feedback? Get some feedback as well from them on the product or the content that we did provide. So I think it's important too, but we need to find. This is like something we need a certain individual to compile. I don't mind proofreading, but whether or not I can compile this whole report and produce it myself is another question. I know. So we need somebody to step up and do this kind of idea. I don't mind contributing in the sense of proofreading and stuff like that, but maybe we can find someone to do this. Any volunteers?
I've been looking at some templates for just like to lay out a report kind of thing, and like obviously like gathering together all the content. But also I think it's worth noting that, like, for example, Gabrielle, you're just about to do an interview with Dimitri, and it looks like they're just dropping some new tokens in that they're offering 5x leverage on some more tokens and stuff. And I think that farming's probably going to come out just around the end of the month. So we probably have like a few more opportunities to like shine for them, And then once it's all like, once all those things are all said and done, like, yeah, like I think we can put something together to show them what we've done, and they will know.
Are these reports usually chronological or content formed? Like these are the 6 videos we produced, these are the 3 articles we produced, or chronological? This is the first thing we did, this is the second thing we did. If we use chronological order, then we can kind of produce most of it and then produce the end of it come the end and then have a small summary. Oh, so in summary, we produced 6 videos, 4 memes, or whatever the numbers are. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, we could definitely start working on it now for sure. It's like get a template together and try and figure out a format that works, and kind of like, yeah, and then just keep filling it out as we go. Like,
Yeah, we definitely we're going to deliver more content to them, but I don't want to wait till the last day of our engagement to give them the report. You know, I want them to have like a couple days in between to be like, decide and then pay us more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And also just like the way that we've been working with projects like in the last few days has been pretty awesome. Like the guy from I don't know how to pronounce it probably, but the Genome Project is like been in the chat, and like Crypto Oof has like already done an article for him, asked him like a ton of awesome questions, and like it's just like it's going real good. And yeah, like I've been chatting with Overlay and like been like talking a lot with them, and just like really like keeping the communication up throughout. Like we've like, because I guess we've been busy with a few other things, maybe the last few days we've been slipping a little bit on Complify, but I think that's okay because like look, they've got stuff coming out now, you know, like there's new stuff happening. So like we can like give it a good push, but just in general, the communication is working real well. Like having these channels open, it's like, it's a real good thing and clients will love it. Like,
I have something to mention, and that is the Discord is getting more and more intimidating in the sense that like there are lots of channels and they're all white a lot. Now I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or a good thing. It shows, you know, engagement and talk in different channels, right? But it's also like where to start. You know, where should I go? What should I to go in and read? You know what I mean? And like we all have busy lives, like some of us more than others and some of us less than others, but we all have other engagements and other things to do. And it would be great if there was like some certain very defined places where I need to go just to this place to get what I need very easily. You know, I don't have a solution to this, but I'm wondering if anybody else is finding this same issue.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
And
Discord, what a thing, huh? This
and
is
the
kind of
thing
where
is,
I'm
we
hoping to
have
help out.
Telegram.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes. And the thing is, we have Telegram as well. So I'm not really sure what's the most efficient way to convey a message, because sometimes people don't see Discord, they see Telegram. So like we need to like, just a communication. I think we have to find a solution. And yeah, in some or the other way.
Discord can get very, very cluttered, and having like pertinent references to action items via a tag is very helpful, but it's also another another factor that congests the chat. I'm working on making it a little bit more streamlined as far as like having a visualization of what's going on. And I'm still not necessarily like, I'm not sure how to navigate Trello. So Dunks, I'd like to catch up with you some morning to go over that, so that I can have a more high level view of the flow. But this Figma board that I'm working on is including like not just the time zone map, but also who's working on what, who uses what, what medium to publish. And I think once that gets a little bit more cleared up, also I'm on vacation, so I'm only able to put in like 2 to 4 hours of work every couple days. But when I get done, I'll be doubling down. And I want to touch base with everybody to get an idea of who finds what important and how you operate. If we have at least a couple coordinating members that can help sync things up, that helps a long way. And if anybody stops in during office hours, I'll be able to direct them. But Discord it's a sticky wicket, and it can be a bit intimidating. I hope that we can get some good conversation going, so that everybody just has a general idea of who does what. And me as a coordinator, my main goal is to help you all just focus on creating content. And so you don't have to be sorting through this whole thing every single time you come in just to figure out what the score is.
Awesome. Hey, there's MaxOX, Markio, and Manu. So we got like the three M's, who have also got projects like that. I kind of said, hey, some of the guys who've got projects, like, come in to the chat and introduce yourself and maybe say a little bit about the project and stuff. And so could we let them do that for a few minutes?
I'm sorry. So they're actual projects who are looking for marketing, and they're going to tell us who they are. Basically.
Yeah. So Markio is from the Genome project that we're working on, that Cesar will do an interview with later today. And then Manu, you've been in the chat since the beginning, and I know that you shared an NFT project before, so maybe you wanted to introduce us to that, and then MaxOX has also got a project. So two, maybe, I guess, potential clients and one actual client.
All right, let's just start straight off the bat. We'll go from the alphabetical order if Manu is ready. Can you just tell us a little bit about what your project is?
Yeah, actually, I would talk first about myself, because I joined the group as it was said since the very beginning, as I want to also contribute to the group. I see what is forming up here, and I really like it. And I've been following since the very beginning. Well, my name is Manu. I'm originally from Venezuela, and I'm a mechanical engineer by studies, but I've been in the tech industry since I'm 12 years old, more or less. Designed my first website at that time. I started selling stuff that I was bringing from the US and also from Europe, and selling it back at home. As you know, in Venezuela, there's nothing, so whatever you sell there gets sold. Then after that, I got into the tech industry, started working with the largest venture builder in the world, Rocket Internet. I was managing Jumia, which is the largest marketplace in Africa, which is a combination of Amazon, eBay, Booking.com, Uber Eats. And I was managing all the marketing, and also mobile acquisition, performance, handling around 7 figures per month in budget, and did that for over 2.5 years. And then after that, I started working with Microsoft and AXA, the insurance company, as the CMO, over 2 years, and it was basically a company for for connecting patients and doctors. Did that for over 2 years, and then I got into the crypto rabbit hole more or less 5 years ago, when I realized that you could transact without having intermediaries. One of my friends was actually developing smart contracts that could swap tokens. And I started to get really interested and to dig deeper into it. And the first thing that I did was to try to find if there was a way to bring real world assets into the chain. So the first thing that I did, I started to tokenize real estate, tokenize venture funds and venture capital with a European legal framework. Did that for a couple of years, for over 2 years. And then after that, basically I realized that that the vision that I had, which was to enable anyone to invest in any type of asset, wasn't possible. And that's when I decided to switch into DAOs. And I've been working into DAOs for the last 2.5 years. I personally believe that DAOs are going to be the normal way for people to interact and to give value however they can. And yeah, I was one of the first members at the Meta Cartel, probably like number 6 or so. And also I'm a mentor at the Lao for multiple projects there, whenever they need help when it comes to marketing, token economics, and so on. And also I was one of the founding members of API3. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, which is basically a Oracle DAO that is enabling people to coordinate and decide which are the oracles that they trust. And lately, I've been working for the last 6 months in a project called Doing Good, which essentially is a social impact platform that enable creators to tokenize their assets and at the same time stream money to social causes that they care about. This platform is going to be a DAO. We are already in the process of being a DAO. Have multiple people behind, like the guy, some of the founders of Aave, founders of Gitcoin, founders of Matic, founders of Mask Network, Parsec, and a couple of other exchanges as well. And yeah, essentially we're getting ready to launch our platform and also to launch our token in the upcoming months, probably like 2-3 months, more or less. We're working together with MME, which are basically the lawyers that launch Ethereum and Polkadot in Switzerland. And yeah, the idea is to really decentralize this multi-gallery system. And yeah, when I say multi-gallery system, what it means is that we're enabling brands, communities to curate and launch their own galleries and tokenize their galleries as well. So yeah, you can think about it kind of like OpenSea and Rare and Super Rare combined. OpenSea in the way that it is completely open for anyone to contribute or to post their content however they want, and and a Super Rare because there's communities that are going to have the possibility of curating and deciding what is the type of content that they want to have in their gallery. And in order to open a gallery, we'll be obviously using the token, and there's going to be more things around the governance token, very similar to API3. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I'm here since the beginning, actually, because I want to contribute as well as I can to this group that I think is forming up and is going to be creating amazing stuff. And also to share what I'm building and see how we could potentially also work together. That's a little bit about me, and I'm done speaking.
I want to clap. That was awesome. Don't think you can really clap in the Discord voice chat though, can you?
I have a question.
Yes,
Just a quick question. Are these galleries completely 100% virtual, or are you talking about actual real-world art being tokenized and shown in
Good question.
galleries as well?
Yeah, good question. I didn't explain it well. It's actually starting with digital content. But yeah, it could have a link with the real world. But initially, it's digital galleries. And when I say digital galleries, you can also think, the thing is that everyone calls galleries everything, but in reality, like you can call a playlist, or you can call it a newspaper or whatever. It's just content that has been curated by someone, and that's how we see it. Like, we're not only thinking about art, we're thinking about any type of content. It can be music, it can be videos. So that's what we're creating.
That's interesting. Thanks.
Awesome.
Awesome. Should we move on to Markio next on the list?
Hey gang, this is Mark. I spent the last 10 minutes trying to work out how to get my microphone to work. Thank you for the invite. One of the things, so I'm on the genomes.io team. It's a hard website to pronounce. We just call ourselves Genomenominos. only thing I'd say right now is that we're talking later today. I'm talking later today with Gabriel, and we're doing the interview there. It sounded like when I jumped the call, jumped on the call. I jumped on the call pretty late. So I'm always online. I'm happy to answer questions. But it sounded like you were talking about how things are being set up, and obviously you're a new organization. Just some feedback from me. One of the things that I really have appreciated when I joined the Discord was a little bit of a kind of like even a one pager just saying this is what the Discord is. You go in and here's what's expected of you. Here's what you can do. Here's what you can't do. Even if it's a channel or something, like I just bopped up, said hello, got invited to a channel, saw a post being written, which is cool, but I thought that was happening after. So super excited. I won't bore you all, waste any more of your time, but as I'm going to be talking more on the interview later, which hopefully you'll all watch.
Yeah, of course, we're going to watch it, but I would like to dwell a little bit on what you said, actually. I think it's important. This call, one of our main goals of this talk is to try to organize the Discord to be more efficient. So I want to make sure I understand what you said, and that is you would have preferred to get a small document or some sort of something quick to read that says, oh, you want to go here for this, go to here for that, and then end up here, and this is what you're going to do in this place. Is that, or the way it happened is exactly what you think should have happened, or you think we should change to something like that?
I mean, I'm here now, so it's obviously it's all worked, right? It's all worked. In the workflow that we had, I got told the way I understood it from the documentation I'd been sent beforehand was we'll do an interview, and then from that we'll create pieces of content. And then I got a message saying, oh, we've got a Discord, you should have one member from every team in the Discord, so go jump in the Discord. And then I'm just explaining to you the steps that happened, sorry, but and then I got hey, let's add Mark to the Genomes.io channel, so I bumped in there, and then there was a piece that came out today, and lots of conversation, which has been really useful, and I'm always happy to answer questions and what have you. But it something as simple as, hey, we're going to invite you to the Discord. Here's the link. When you join the link, say hello in the channel. You will then be put in your right channel, and that is where you'll be quizzed and give more feedback to the content creators, and then and that would have been enough, right? That would have been enough. So it as I say, it worked because I got here, but I did feel a bit lost when I came in. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
Awesome. So it's an easy fix to do that. Like we can easily do it. But thank you for the feedback, because like we want to hear a company's journey as well, and like we'll make it way smoother for newer people.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
I think I'm just going to start now, like a little page on the website.
Yeah.
It can
So
just be
Dunks,
for
what I'll do is I'll connect with you. I have an idea how to do it.
Yeah.
Let Gaurang introduce himself.
yeah,
And
awesome.
let's hear what my project is
Okay,
about.
cool.
Gaurang, are you here?
I think maybe it's Max.
Hey,
Max XO.
hey guys. Oh, okay, Max can continue, no worries.
No, go ahead. You're already here. Go.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Gaurang. I'm from India. Like, I've been working as a digital marketer for the past 7 years now. I've been working with a lot of startups in terms of helping with growth, business development, marketing, sales, and all. Right. Been in the crypto space since 2017, but again as a trader since 2017 to 2020. And then in 2020, I took up a job. A friend of mine who referred me, to a DeFi company where I had no clue about how DeFi works and all. But then eventually I started working with them as a marketing head. So the company's name is ZeroSwap Labs, right? So basically we are a multi-chain DEX aggregator. We have a exchange coming up soon where, users will able to do trades gaslessly. right? Apart from that, have been using a lot of DeFi products. I'm kind of a farmer as well and an NFT collector, right? Currently, been exploring a lot of DAOs, understanding how the governance protocol works, how DAOs work, and yeah, that's it. I'm done speaking, guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
awesome.
yeah,
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you for the introduction.
Welcome. And I'm sure we'll,
Yeah, welcome.
yeah, if you want to contribute and hang around, I'm sure we'll be able to find a place to ways to work together. And so, shall we pass it over to Max OX?
Yeah. Max, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Looks like he's not the only one who is having mic problems, right? Anyhow.
Max.
Yeah, this was my first. I'm in tons of Discords, but this was my first channel I've spoke on, and so I had to like change all my settings to allow a microphone.
Yeah, that's probably what Max is doing right
All
now.
right, no problem.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
he's having mic issues as well. That's understandable.
Could we?
So, Dunks,
what-
what I was suggesting is what we do is we make this a community channel, and when someone joins the channel, they get an option. They get a not roadmap, but like how do you go about the channel and or like top 5 channel listed.
You guys
And
hear me
what
now?
we do, yeah, we can.
Yeah,
can.
sorry about that.
Awesome. Yeah, let's start with your introduction.
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually a fan of Caesar's. I've been following his work for, I don't know, since like the winter. And I just found this, what you guys are doing this DAO about like an hour ago. So really, I just want to join and kind of learn about what you guys are doing and whatnot and see if it could be a possible good fit for what I'm currently working on. So I'm working on a project called Backed, which is, I guess the simplest way of putting it is it kind of combines collateral top-ups. So like DeFi Saver with something like Yearn Vaults is essentially what it does. So you can deposit assets and then earn interest from strategies like Convex, Curve, and things of that nature. So like yield farming strategies, and then register Aave or compound loans to your deposit. And then if your loans are at risk of liquidation, your liquidity will react to that and essentially be deposited into collateral versus farming yield and prevent a liquidation is the simplest way of putting it. But yeah, no, happy to be here, guys. Just wanted to listen in on all this. Caesar, are you the founder of this, or who created this DAO?
I suggested the idea to Gabriel in a message, kind of very vaguely, and we discussed it and came up with the idea. So, to be total honest, I would say, you know, he and I, Gabriel Haynes and me, are the founders, but it quickly grew to from us to like the team that we have very quickly. So it's not like it's ours at all. Like
Right.
you know, it's just simply like him and I talked, and then he tweeted, and then it just blew up. So it's literally, you know, is literally all ours. Like it's not mine, it's not Gabriel's, it's everybody who's in here right now and who's not in here right now who wishes maybe they could be in here. So yeah, it was, you know, our idea, but that doesn't mean nothing. What matters is like who's doing the work, right? It's a DAO in the sense of whoever sits
Execution.
down. Yeah, exactly. Whoever sits down and does the work, that's whose it is, right? And I think this is the best way to get things done. And it's in the tradition of crypto, right? And I think that's what makes it special.
Okay. Cool.
I wanted to just quickly make sure I understand your idea, and that is basically in simplest form is like you're going to use your assets inside some sort of yield-bearing place, like something simple, like maybe a Yearn vault. Well, that's not a simple thing, but like putting USDT into a Yearn vault and taking USDT out of a Yearn vault is a simple task. So you're going to use that holding to watch a CDP, right, a collateralized debt position. And if that collateralized debt position becomes at risk of being liquidated, then it will automatically pull your funds out of the yield-bearing vault to cover your losses or cover your collateral risk, right? Will it put the money back after the risk has mitigated or gone away? If let's say you're borrowing versus ETH and ETH dumps and you cover the ETH, will it sell ETH later and put it back into the yield-bearing place? Is that part of the goal?
So you mean like a rebalancing function?
Yeah, kind of going back to the way it was before or like, I'm not sure. I'm just wondering, like, this is just an idea.
no.
I'm just literally spitballing. Like maybe you have plans for it, but that's phase 2 because it's not the most important, right? Because people
Right.
could manually rebalance, right? But
Right, yeah,
I
that
really
would
like
be,
the idea.
Awesome, yeah. The V1 version won't have that. So right now, and just to clarify, Caesar, this isn't my idea. This is a protocol I work for. So this isn't something I take credit for. I just help out with community integrations, marketing, and stuff like that. But yeah, so a few more details on Bakkt. It's in audit right now, and then our mainnet launch should be probably like mid-August. And one thing I wanted to mention was I was kind of listening in and out of your guys' conversation, but I heard you guys talking about you guys do like Twitter Spaces where you have the other project on. So for that, is that something that what I would like say Bakkt and this DAO wanted to do that? Would it be something we'd pay to do that, or how does that work?
So it's I think part of the deliverables of the entire proposal.
Yeah, like we would have to work out like we don't have a set price list for every individual thing. We've been kind of building on this. This is literally like a month old, right? This entire DAO. So we're still coming to terms with what should cost what and what shouldn't cost and what becomes a package, so to speak, and which packages we're willing to offer. So I would say the short answer is yes, but the long answer is it would be part of like an entire package. So, and it's quite affordable. Like if you go to like a marketing agency or you're looking at a lot more than what we're charging, a lot. So, but we are leveraging our audience. We are gaining other benefits like, I gain audience, I gain exposure, I gain, increased exposure through like each other. Like if I tweet out a video, then all of the other people inside this network will retweet that for me. So I'm gaining benefits in that sense that I don't have to worry so much about how much I'm charging to some extent, right? So the package is very broad. So yes, you would have to probably pay, but like we don't know how much right now we would charge for a single Twitter space AMA. Like this was something we would have to sit down and discuss and decide whether or not that is even something we would like to do. We like the idea of having like a client that is on for a month, and we will supply a certain amount of content to like a minimum, and then we would hit the minimum and then continue to produce our content so long as it makes sense to produce more content. So we've been running with this model. So this is kind of what we're going with right now. And we're not just trying to make money. We're not just trying to go, 2 tweets and a picture cost $1,260. Pay us and we do it. No, we're trying to like build client relationships. So like long-term things where we're going to find a project we believe in, we like it, and we're going to continue to promote it and learn and grow with that project. And hopefully we would be able to actually take part in that project as a DAO as well through our treasury and so forth. So this is kind of our vision in that sense. I hope this makes sense. Does anybody have anything to add to that that I missed? Anything
No,
I agree with
all
that
good.
vision. I like that vision.
Cool. Yeah, I love what you guys are doing. This is a awesome project.
Did
Thank you.
Max? Did you have another project as well? I thought I saw that maybe you have another project that you're working on. Or,
I've done like part-time stuff in the past, but this is right now I'm full-time, fully focused on Bakkt at the moment.
So one thing that I'm hoping that we can get really good at is like working with the team and but also working in the community, like trying to find ways to kind of because obviously some of the best content, the most knowledgeable people in a community are the members of that community, right? Like they know the protocol, they know.
Sorry, Dunks, you cut out. You cut out at obviously.
Oh, I just wonder if you could talk a little bit about. So what's your role at Bakkt and how? So what's your role at Bakkt?
Sure. Yeah. So the past month or so, I've been doing all the blog posts, Twitter, the docs, which aren't released yet, and then I do some like financial strategy type stuff. So like figuring out the most efficient way to like short an asset or long an asset using PLFs like Aave or Compound, so stuff like that. And then the community stuff, so Telegram, that's all me, and then also integrations and whatnot. So I kind of do a mix of different things, but really I think my role will kind of become more focused or change a bit once we actually launch the protocol, because when something's not launched yet, there's not too much community building or marketing you can really do. So yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
I have a question for the three of you guys. This is kind of more for us. It's maybe a little bit of a selfish question, but not really. How did you come about Creator? Like, what was the thing that brought you to us and kind of introduced you to this? And like, why are you in here? Like, what was the thing that, oh, I'm gonna go check that out, right? Like, what was the advertising thing we used to hook you, so to speak? So maybe we can start with Max and then go to Markio and just go upwards. So Max, let's go with you first.
Yeah, sure. I literally found it like 2 hours ago. I actually think I found it it was on Twitter. I think it was probably because I'm following you, Caesar. So it was just randomly on Twitter.
Okay, how about you, Marco?
Yeah. So, as I say, we'll be talking about this. I'll be talking about this more in the interview later. We were a part of Tachyon's second cohort back in 2019, and so obviously we do stuff to do with genomics, and it's all about earning passive income on your own data. And back in 2019. Consensus said you should get the core stack built out. We've got a partnership with AMD, and it's kind of a mixture of blockchain genomics and cryptography. And so we got that all built out. We've done all that, and then we were looking to kind of amplify your passive income using DeFi protocols. And so we started building out all of that. And then we're using Sushi for the launch in August, and it got to the point, right? We're like 10 members of a team, and we have a designer, but we have no marketing, right? I'm a scientist at a DeFi aficionado, but I'm the guy who's tasked with like, okay, how are we going to launch this token? And I saw on Twitter that this idea of getting all of the a load of great creators to take an idea and come up with some great content in a DAO-like structure. And I was like, shit, that's exactly what we need. So I reached out. I saw it on Twitter, on Gabriel's Twitter. So I pinged Gabriel, and yeah, it sounded good. So we signed up.
Jack from Overlay just joined as well. So Jack's from Overlay we've been chatting with him as well. So he's got a bit of catching up to do with the conversation, but we're just chatting with a few of the projects that are either working with us already or kind of, considering working with us. And Manu is also here, who knows the Overlay project, and probably you guys may already know each other. I don't know. But if you want to say hi as well, please do.
Yeah, hey guys, great to be here. Really looking forward to seeing how this meeting goes and how you guys all work together.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Mano, can you speak on, if you're still here, I'm not sure if you're still listening, can you speak on how you came about Creator DAO, and just so we can get an idea of what's the reach, where are we reaching? Like, we're not really right now looking to expand a whole lot
Yeah,
more.
so I'm
But
also one of the delegators at Inverse Finance, and I think one of you guys made an interview. I don't remember exactly when, but one of you guys made an interview with Noor from Inverse Finance, and I've been, helping that community as well, like forming up their governance, forming up their teams, just helping them out, and yeah, that's how I found out about this.
Great, thanks. Much appreciated. I like this. I don't know. Do we have anything else we really need to cover, guys? Is there anything else that really is important?
I just on that.
I wonder.
Oh, sorry. You go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, just in relation to, like, Max is talking about, Max and Jax probably maybe doing kind of a similar role. And it's probably likely that we probably will be speaking with, like Max is talking about how he's working with working with integrations and community building and moderating and doing a bunch of stuff like that. And it's probably is likely that we end up kind of liaising and talking with people who are doing that role in a protocol. And so, like, while we're on the subject of getting feedback and stuff like that, like, it's probably just worth mentioning that, like, the more we can learn from what these people actually want and how we can work together, then it's probably going to be good for us. And which also comes in line with what Markio was saying about just, like, what's the process of onboarding. That was just more of a comment than anything, but I'll let Manu jump in.
I do get your point here, and that is that the majority of the people we're going to be talking with are outreach people for teams. It's not going to be a whole lot of devs coming in here going, hey, we need some marketing. I think you're right. So we should these are the feedback that you guys give us is quite valuable in this sense that, like, because every person's different. However, you guys are kind of sitting in the same role maybe of the next person who comes along, and we would like to try to improve this flow line, and like Markio's feedback about being a little bit lost it's important, and I think we should work on this kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, I have to jump off to another call now, guys. But thanks for taking the feedback, and I'll be happy to. This is going to be a a longer term thing over the next however many days, weeks, months. So it's lovely to meet you all. It's great hearing what everyone's doing, and I'll catch up with you all later. But I'll be sure to give you feedback. Feel free to DM me on any Discord anytime for feedback.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I
Looking
also have
forward.
to thank you everyone, and I love to find ways to collaborate with all of you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna head out as well, guys. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks,
I
Max.
think we can. Is there anything else you want to discuss, or should we close the call?
I think we should just close up with a little bit of a summary. I don't know. Maybe trite. Is that what we should call you? Trite and derivative? Like you want to be called trite?
For brevity, that's
Easy.
fine. My name's also Alex.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah. So you can call me Caesar Snack Sandwich. No, I'm just joking. But Caesar. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Like you're on vacation now, so I don't want to be like, hey, you want to do this, because I get it, vacation. But I do think the key thing there, out of this chat with those guys, was that the project, when it comes in, it should be very straightforward. I do this, I get this, I'm here, I'm done that, I'm answering questions here. We kind of jumped the gun a little bit on Genome, because I didn't do anything. I haven't even read the website, because I was under the assumption that we were going to wait for Gabriel's interview, and then we were going to use the content from his interview as a jumper or a bootstrap, and then go from that and maybe do a little further research on our own, and then start producing content. And we were going to start our so to speak contract on the day of that. So this is kind of an issue that we've had internally, that one of our creators produced content before Gabriel did this interview because of interest or because of exposure. So if we're going to use, I was hoping that we could use his interview as a test pilot for this system. But if we jump ahead of his system, then we're kind of not testing the system the way ideally, in the perfect, like an experimental, like isolated case, right? So I still think it's going to work. I still think we can just keep going the way it is. And I don't know if it was right or wrong to jumpstart. But you can see he got a little bit confused, and he doesn't mind helping, because of course he wants content and wants pro, and that's what he wants, right? But I think if we have a very set system of, let's say we tried this and it worked very well, like Gabriel first does an interview, and then a few of us produce explainer videos, and then we start doing some memes, and then we follow up like midway through with a Twitter space AMA, and then we do a couple more memes and then an article or something, right? Some sort of flow. It will become easier for us to know what to do, when to do it, right? And then we won't be jumping around so much, and we won't be hammering the team members as much as either, because I'm sure he's answered a lot of questions. And he even said in this interview, I'm going to say this in a couple hours when I talk to Gabriel, right? So I think maybe we should try to, I'm like you guys in the sense that I like to get things done. I like to push it. I like to get it done, get going quick. But I think maybe we should try to maintain a little bit of patience in at least one of the tests where we can actually use an experimental system to figure out if it works that way the best. What do you guys think of this?
I think his main thing that he was saying was that it was kind of a mixed message, because he got the message from Gabriel that this is what we're going to do. Like, we're going to do the interview and it's going to be the pillar piece, and then we're going to flow, the rest of the content's going to flow from there. But then he got into the Discord, and then CryptoOof just jumped on it and did an awesome job. And I think he actually liked what CryptoOof did, and he liked the questions and everything, but it was just the timing of it, because it was kind of obviously that we weren't 100% in line with what we said we were going to do. And then there was just like the sense that maybe the part that part of getting into the Discord wasn't really very well explained. So I think it was like a minor thing, but definitely like brings out the point of just us being like aligned with what we say we're going to do, and just making it kind of flow, so that yeah. So it was
Yeah,
really
I agree
good
with
feedback.
this. Like,
Really good feedback.
like I agree that like I don't want to stunt like ambition and be like, hey, don't do anything, don't talk to them, but maybe we can try to develop a system where that can't happen. Like I know I'm not trying to blame anyone, because we're all learning and this is a DAO, this is how it's working. We did not build a system and then are running the system. We are trying to figure out the system as we go, right? And that's probably the best way to do this, because then we can adjust the system quite easily without being locked into a certain system, right? So, but if we, like, let's say, for example, if Gabriel says, "Oh, he's sent a proposal to somebody that he's going to produce this pillar interview, and then afterwards they're going to be put into a Discord to answer further questions." Then it can save them a lot of repeated questions, but also Gabriel didn't mention that in his proposal. It wasn't part of the steps that they will get into the Discord. But maybe Gabriel, he didn't know when he produced that document and sent it to them that we have this Discord possibility, right? So I think we have to kind of coordinate with him as well in that sense, and maybe not invite people to the Discord until after they've done the interview with Gabriel. Do you know what I mean? Just to kind of make it step by step, and then it doesn't become like, oh, wait, I thought I have to do an interview first. And then, because some people, he's quite happy with it, but perhaps some future client will be like, what the hell is this shit? Why am I like, he will get frustrated and perhaps angry. Some people are easily irritable, right? And they might have a negative reaction to a session of confusion. Do you know what I mean? So I think if we really set up a system where step 1 is talk to Gabriel, step 2 is join the Discord, step 3, and then the content, like the actual video, 3 memes, article, that doesn't need to come in any specific order, right? But the actual client's experience of like his role should come in a set sequence. And like, maybe we can, I don't want to make rules. I'm not saying that I'm right, but just an idea is that maybe one of the stipulations in order to join that specific Discord channel, you have to first listen to Gabriel's video interview, because then you will have questions that are not repeated. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he's gonna cover a large basis of things, and then your questions that you have may have already been answered. Do you know what I mean? Just to make things more efficient and more pleasant for the client in that sense. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah, agreed.
It does seem like there should be a degree of formality, but to actually, what it seems like a lot of people are kind of saying is that there is a fluidity and an informality to what's happening, because we are dealing with a lot of community managers and stuff like that. So these are sort of the rigors of the process. Having a step-by-step onboarding flow for both creators and for the businesses that we're going to be representing is super crucial. In this early stage, I think there is like a little bit of forgiveness there. When money's on the line, people will definitely have more strict expectations, and they'll also want to be seeing, they'll want to see the feedback. And that's something for us to keep in mind as we build up the economics of this. Let's say, down the road there's a token or something like that, or some kind of staking mechanism. Just kind of spitballing. I think the idea of having like a no loss mechanism would be really cool, because it would give people an out, while we still have the ability to earn from that time on. that being said, again, like that was just like a hypothetical. But having it be understood that what we're doing is flexible, and we're trying to work with the client, and we're trying to find the best solutions for what they have going on, because a genomics project might have a different push media wise than a DeFi protocol, and having an intimate relationship with them, and also having kind of like layers of engagement is probably super important for different protocols in different ways.
Yeah, like
I like. Oh, go ahead, Dunks.
I just want to, just one thing. So like some like I've built quite a lot of websites for clients, and like I've published stuff and sent it to them, and a lot of the time, some people are fine with it, but like ideally, like nothing, and professionally, you would never publish something before like sending a draft to a client to preview. Like, for example, like if you send them a live website with, like, for example, in this case, like there was some issues with the logo, like if the logo was fuzzy and stuff like that, and that isn't ideal. And so with certain clients, like I could imagine like a project that's dealing with genomes, like this project actually looks very serious, like, and it's dealing with something that's incredibly serious, and there should also be some legal implications. So I would say that for this project, we should definitely take like a step back and figure out some guidelines for like the whole point of that QA group. I don't know if it's question and answer or quality assurance, but both would apply. So yeah, like some projects will be fine with it. This one may not be, and we should be like finding out that information like ASAP.
I agree with this completely. Like a project like Genome, it's not a DeFi AMM. They're not playing around. They're dealing with people's like DNA. This is not like a joke. It's not. I'm not saying
Exactly.
any of our other projects are not serious, but it's not Pancake Swap even. Like Pancake Swap versus collecting people's DNA, storing it securely, and selling it to research people. This is a different style of client, very, very much. Even if he came across as being fairly casual and understanding, and the way he was very nice. I don't think, like, one of the people, Passive Crypto, he's the guy who does all the crazy memes. He actually asked, does this project want memes? And in my opinion, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I wouldn't think they want like, Genome on like, Donald Trump's head. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the image they want to go for. And this is something, you're right, we have to make clear in the onset. And I think we can kind of, if we use Gabriel's interview as the filter for this, we make sure he asks questions about like the seriousness or the level of engagement, or even post interview, we have a small interview of like, what's your desire? Like, what kind of content are you looking for? Are you looking for things like this? And we show them like, a duck getting eaten by a fish or something, whatever content, like, is this what you guys want? Like, it's funny, but it's not like, we have to know, like, because if we put out something that's inappropriate, or like you said, even a legal issue, there's legal issues there, then it's a problem, right? Like, I'm not really worried about us getting sued, because we are a DAO and most of us are anonymous anyways. But I don't think that would be good for our client relationship, that we got Genome sued for whatever reason. Even like, let's say we just, take a bash at their competition, that might create some serious legal problems for them in the real world. Do you know what I mean? So I think you're right.
Way
I think
different
this
than DeFi for sure.
Yeah, like it's not like we can just like, have a sushi man riding the unicorn into a grave. That would be totally fine in DeFi. Like a sushi guy just beating up a unicorn. That would be okay in crypto Twitter. But, Genome, I don't know, just a random thought like Genome pissing in a vial and handing it to their competition. That might not be okay, but it would be funny. But you get my point. Like, we have to really figure out the level of professionality that's required with this especially this particular client.
Yeah, but also just more generally as well, it's just good to give the client like the question like, hey, would you like to have the opportunity to just do a quick check and a sign off on any of the major pieces of content that we're producing, like articles and videos, for example. And
I think this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think every single piece of content should be put in front of them and they sign off on it. I think everything. Yeah.
Or at
Even
least
I'm
give
okay
them
with
that-
even making.
at least give them that
At least give them the
opportunity.
choice.
Yeah, the choice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we can really cover our grounds cover ourselves on that. I like this idea.
It just shows them that we're thinking about it and that we're considering that, maybe not everything that we think is a good idea actually is.
Fits. Yeah, or fits their brand, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
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 I agree with this.
Like, maybe some of the things that they reject might actually do them good, but it's not. If we want to retain clients, this is one way that we can definitely help to do that.
Avoid problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's consider maybe some sort of like an integrity, like a staking for integrity process. Are you all familiar with Kickback?
No.
Okay, so Kickback has a really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, it has a really cool mechanism where you basically like they originally started it for like events. Like, you go to it, you stake to show up to an event, and if you don't show up at the event, everybody else gets your stake. We should consider some sort of mechanism like that, to where if people act too fast and then they like hurt the project that we're representing, we can claim their stake and forbid them from producing more content officially. Anybody can make anything and put it up on the internet, so that's going to be something that we're going to have to keep in mind. But as far as official business, having some kind of process that says like people are going to adhere to what we deem community standards is probably super relevant. Furthermore, just one thing that I do with my primary project, in New Normal, I have a pre-interview where I ask people, things as simple as how they'd like to be referred to, because I've gotten into interviews and I've used the wrong pronouns, and that has ended the interview. And being aware of what their, the things that they find important is super important. Gabe's really good at doing interviews, and but he seems to be used to doing. Sorry about all the background noise. He's been doing DeFi and crypto interviews for a while now, and even with him, we should probably have some kind of like actual process that we establish so that we have just clear-cut community guidelines and something that we can refer back to in case we run into legal issues.
Yeah, that point, like what you're saying, like a pre-interview, like just a few little onboarding documents, just to kind of get a sense of, maybe even a form, just asking a few questions like, so that we know who we're dealing with, and then we can, because maybe even the permissions in the channels, or the way we structure the channels, or whatever, or the way we let creators in to what information they need to know, could potentially change from project to project a little bit based on some of the answers to some of those questions. But for the point about the staking thing, like that kind of stuff is like, I think some stuff that we should be definitely talking about. But right now we're just trying to handle everything just as the old-fashioned way, like just with normal, almost Web 2 technology, like, you know what I mean? And then later, like, we can like try to figure out where the Web 3 stuff can help,
Agreed. Yeah, these are just things to keep in the back of our mind, and sort of cool examples.
Yeah, totally. Like, and definitely stuff that we should be talking about as well. But like,
even like a stake, it doesn't even have to be like a new Web3 DeFi style staking contract. It could just simply be, we're not going to pay you any. You produce this video, you didn't run it by the company, you're out. We're not going to pay you for it. You get no money, and you're gone. No more affiliation with us. Of course, warnings or level, like some judgment. It might be a DAO voting for kicking someone out or something like this, but that would be stake enough. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily like I got to put $3,000 into a staking contract, and if I screw up, you guys are gonna slash my stake. It doesn't even have to be like a validator type stake, right? But I like this idea of a level of control over what people can do, because you're right. Anyone right now, any person in the world could just literally screw us by just putting tons of photos and throwing our logo on top of it. What could we do? And there's nothing we can do about it, right? Like, some sort of competition could just, take our logo and just start producing content that makes us look bad, right? It's possible, right? So it's kind of hard to control against this, but I don't know. Like, now I'm kind of just conspiracy theorizing.
I think it would be really great for us to connect with the Lao. Manu's our man in there. They have great feedback. They're connected with Lex DAO. They're a great organization. And every step along the way, for what I've been doing for the past couple years, I've touched base with either like with Priyanka or the one guy, Matt, I can't think of his last name, but there's a bunch of people there that are very forthcoming. They're awesome. Many of them are actually lawyers. We can ease into this and still, hit it hard, and cover our bases. I think as long as we don't try to move too fast, we'll do fine. There's tons of stuff we can worry about, but in reality, it's probably not actually going to be that tough. Like, people aren't terrible for the most part, and we haven't pissed off anybody that I'm aware of. Like, it seems very inclusive, and as long as we keep a good conversation going, I think we can't fail. This is an awesome project. Like, there's nobody else really doing this.
You have a good point here. Like, there's not a whole lot of incentive to mess us up. Like, no one can like steal our token, hack our contracts, empty our liquidity pools. There's none of this going on. We haven't really heavily stepped on any toes. I'm sure there might be a few marketing agencies that might turn their eyes towards us in the future, because in honesty, we are very, very, very cheap in compared to what another marketing agency would cost. However, some of the things that they provide, we do not provide, like a token listing on KuCoin or something. Like, this is not something we're doing, right? So it's a different ball game, but we might get eyes in the future, right? But I think you're right. I think if we just go slowly and we don't have too many content creators, and we just kind of make some little guidelines and a simple system, I think we can be safe for the most part.
I have to go pretty soon here. I was just wondering if we got an volunteer for to compile our content for Compify.
No, I did not hear anybody say, I'll do that. I kind of heard Dunks kind of say he was going to do it.
I was going to say,
but I didn't hear him actually say, I'm going to do it. Him and DJ had an idea, so maybe... You don't mind if I call you DJ, right? Diraj?
Yeah, you can call me anything, that's fine.
I was going to say, B,
just don't call him late to dinner.
Maybe...
I'm not going to call you a snack, though.
Hey, B, maybe... if you wanted to start compiling, like moving all of the, like be the person who adds the content for Genome into Trello, that I was thinking that could be good. Like I think I've got most of the stuff from Complify, and like please like add stuff from if you. But maybe it's good, like, let's say if I add the stuff from Complify, I'll be responsible for that. You're responsible for adding the stuff from Genome.
Okay.
That might be good. And we can just chat as well, like, I'll tell you what I'm doing with Complify, and you tell me what you're doing with Genome, and we can share ideas and stuff like that. And I'm currently adding the stuff from BasketDAO as well. Like, does that work, B?
Can I interrupt that
ahead.
for just... Okay, actually, B, go ahead, finish, because I know you have to leave, and then I'll talk to Dunks after.
I was just wondering about that final report you guys were talking about.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll add all of the stuff from Complify, but we if you want to be part of bringing together this final report, that would be awesome. Like, I think we should have like 3 or 4 of us just kind of all putting in ideas, and like I can get a template and start framing it up, and then we can all kind of, work on it together. Like,
What I suggest for this, and I'm totally willing to participate in this, if you put all the pictures, all the content into a Google document or whatever processor you want to use, we do a small call with a screen share, and we just go through it. And I can just literally be like, okay, let's change this, and I'll type it, and then you type, and we type together, and we just get it done. I think it'll take maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, and we'll have different ideas of what works and what doesn't work, and maybe 2 or 3 of us can be in there at the same time, just contributing to that document and getting it done. I think that's the easiest way. I could be wrong, but use one of the layouts that your judgment says is the best, because you have some experience over this. Then we just go through it and like read it, and like I'm good with language, but I'm not very good with like business. I don't know which format should be the best. Like I said, literally the question I asked: should it be chronological or should it be content organized? I don't know which one's best. I have no idea, and I don't know if there is an answer even, right? So I don't know. I guess I don't know what to say about that. Are you okay, B?
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. I was just wondering who is going to be putting the content together initially, so that we can all work together on it as a small group.
Okay, so we've got 90% of the content for Complify that's been done is added in Trello. So we can take that from Trello and put it in a Google Doc, if that's how we're going to present it. And so there's 2 different things. One, just keeping a record of the content, and then there's putting that record into a format that would be good for an end of the month report. So is your question about the first thing is keeping a record of it, or specifically about the second thing, putting the report together?
So the initial step of compiling all the data, content, so that when we come together as a small group in a meeting, we can sort of work on it together.
Yep.
So just that initial step.
So could you do that initial step for Genome?
Yes.
And then on the second point, which is putting together the report, let's figure out, before we start trying to put everything into a Google Doc, let's figure out if that's even a good idea. It probably is a good idea, but it is another step. Like, we could almost, if we were going to do it that way, we could probably almost just put it straight into the Google Doc, because otherwise it's like we're moving it from Discord to Trello, then to a Google Doc. There's probably a better way, and I'll look into.
I think what we can do is we can sort the Google Doc into, let's say, articles, videos, and whatnot, and the creators can directly post it there, so it becomes a report by itself automatically instead of spamming in Discord.
We could. It's just that, I would think that, it's.
Can I say something here? Let me say something. One of the things I've noticed in this month through people, tends to be a little bit of a hesitation to use Trello for whatever reason they have. I don't think anybody would be like adverse to saying like, oh, if you create an image, copy your image, paste it in here. It doesn't need to be the original image at high resolution. It doesn't need to be the entire video. It just needs to be a link to the video for the report. So if you produce a video and or whatever content, you just paste it into this document and everybody has access to the document. That might get a little bit messy because then you have to make a document that is accessible to everybody. However, we're trying a few different things, and I think it's creating redundancy as well as confusion. Like, where do I put this? I created a picture maybe a week ago for Basket DAO about I put some chains, and I said, oh, the broken chain picture, right? Like one link in the chain breaks the whole chain, this picture here. And I don't know if it was actually used anywhere, if it was put into any content or had any effect whatsoever. And that might be my fault. I could have probably tweeted it myself, but I was like, I thought maybe memes were, I don't know if memes are being tweeted by the actual client or by us, or do these memes have to go into an article? You know what I mean? So there's quite a bit of confusion in this sense. Like, it's literally, I don't know where to put it even. Like, I put it into the Trello, but I'm not sure if that's the like completed, and then someone sees it there and they're like, oh, it's already been used, so I'll just leave it there. But it hasn't been used as far as I know. Do you know what I mean? So
that's the point of like, if you just put it straight into a Google Doc, then there's no good way to coordinate around it. For example, like, you could coordinate around it in a Google Doc using the comments, and you can tag people. Like, it would be possible, but it wouldn't be as good as Trello. Like, there's a reason why Trello is used for project management and Google Docs is used for document management. Like, it's it's so
it makes sense to me.
Yeah, so like with like there, there is gaps in the system that we've got right now with Trello, and part of those gaps is that, like probably people's reservation to use it, and also that we haven't defined exactly how to use it. But part of this is like people who like doing stuff with kind of tools like Trello, like will come, like they will come. Like personally, I like it, and I think there's probably others here. Probably Trite would also like it once he gets used to it, and I think B maybe is starting to like it too. Like it is an awesome system. Like I did a video for Overlay today, and it's pretty amazing what you can do with Trello. Like I think they'll be pretty impressed.
Well, I agree with you. Like I have played with it. It's just like I don't know if I put the image in the right place or not.
Yeah.
But maybe that's an education problem.
Yeah, it's not even
but
if it's in the right place or not. It's more like just if we get it in there and then just tag someone and be like, hey, the image is here. Like, can someone share this? Can someone move it? You know, like, because you can just move it. It's like, it's not like the end of the world if it's in the wrong place. You know what I mean? Like, the main thing is there. And also,
yeah, but who do I tag? Yeah, so who should I have tagged when I put it into Trello?
Tag me. Like,
okay.
Like with the, I think, like, you know how we're saying, like, if we put it in a Google Doc, like, with the system we've got now, like, people are using it, they're putting their work in the channels that we've created, right? So that's, like, already good. That's actually good. Because that means that now we've got one place where all of the work is going, and people are actually using it, and they like it. So, like...
So let's just like kill the debate of like what to do, and let's just say use Trello. This is how it's done. You put the stuff here, you tag the manager of that Trello. Maybe we can have the very first card is like of every Trello is how to use this particular Trello. You know, when you create content, put it in new content cards and tag and then because that like the content creator shouldn't be moving stuff around in the Trello. It should just be I go to the Trello, I put my stuff here, and I look at this card to see what else needs to be made. That's what I vision the Trello board should be for the majority of the creators.
If we're going to do that, if we are going to do that, if we are going to force creators to post their content into Trello, which we can do. If we're going to do that, then like the channel, like the channels that we're using now, we wouldn't need them. Like for example, the completed work channel, we just like get rid of it completely. But I honestly feel like for right now, it's probably almost better to just like. Well, it's hard to say whether it's better or not, like because it is working. Like creators are,
but the thing is, it really shows the project that his work is being done, right? And Trello is internal.
Well, it's the Q&A.
Yeah, that's true.
The Q&A channel is fucking awesome because, like as we've seen tonight, like Crypto Oof has posted. He's created an article. He's posted it in there. The client is in there.
I have a question, Dunks. I have a question. Can we do a Trello and Trello board and Discord integration, and anything that's posted on that particular Trello board that is like completed content gets posted there?
Yeah, we've actually already got a Trello integration with Discord.
Awesome. So can we do that? Like, can we make it a read-only channel?
No, read only. Nah, well, they have to be able to post it in the channel. And so,
so if they post on Trello that hey, this is my completed work, that gets reposted on Discord. So it's just a visual cue. No one has to post it.
Yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do that.
Okay.
It's kind of 6 to 1, half a dozen the other at the moment. Like, do we post it directly to Trello or do we post it?
Yeah, we post it directly to Trello. and what happens is
The other
that
thing
gets
is,
posted on Discord.
the other thing is with Trello, at the end of the trial, it's going to cost like $8 per user per month. So like, if we end up with like 50, we've got like new people coming through all the time, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are going to come through, like maybe do a little bit of content, whatever. They're not going to, like, I'm leaning towards it being better for creators to just post in Discord, and then we have like a group of people who use Trello. Like,
I kind of like
Okay,
that. It'd be cool if we could submit to Discord, and then you could be like the aggregator, Dunks, and then we'd have that read only that shows what's been put up and what's done.
because you could see a world where there's 50 content creators. That's 50 times 8 per month. That's like nearly $1,000. That's
Okay,
like,
listen.
yeah.
Just listen a sec, okay? Trello costs money if we have more users. There is absolutely no reason why everybody needs to go to Trello. We have 2 channels, maybe, or even just 1 channel. And everybody, when they produce content, they put it into that channel. Then the managers, the project managers, can use the Trello to manage the project by organizing things to their ability.
Yeah.
So I agree completely now. I didn't know that Trello had a cost. If it's got a cost, there's absolutely no reason why we should have everybody have access to it. That's just throwing money away. We do just, if you want to use the Trello to manage the project, that makes a lot of sense to me. So what I think we just post it to one of the Telegram or one of the Discord channels. We tag Dunks or
B.
some specific person,
Yep.
B, who is in charge of whichever project. Maybe we can
Yep.
have some sort of like indicator, like maybe we call them like project managers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We tag them, and then you guys take it and put it on the Trello,
Yeah.
and then you can use the Trello to then produce the report afterwards. So then people don't need to be intimidated by the Trello. You can have your own organization system there, and then people just know, oh, I gotta go to Discord. The only problem is when people post things in Discord, they get chatter. I post a video, someone says great, and then they say, oh, but maybe you can do this,
Yeah.
and then that. Is this a bad thing? I don't know, right? It's good because it's constructive criticism.
It's good, but it gets
producing better
lost.
content.
Like,
But yeah,
yeah.
but we just have to make it a habit of tag. I produce content, it's finished. When I believe it's done, I tag certain individuals. So if every creator understands that,
Yeah.
that I have to tag Dunks or B or whoever is the person to tag,
Yeah.
this kind of has to be clear too. We need to know, like, can we not just tag Dunks for everything and then Dunks will then tell B to do things?
Well, in a way, like the little bit of chat that's in that group, like as long as the chat is like a comment or two, like it's okay because you can just scroll through it and you can just see the content. Like it's actually, if you have a look in these channels, you can see what's content and what's discussion. Like it's actually working, and so then yeah. The one thing is like, you know how you were saying like, so this content is done, but it's not actually done because it hasn't been like shared out, and it
hasn't been sent.
Yeah, it does. And also with content, like a lot of, like, let's say you do an article, like the article might end up being made up of like quotes from 3 different articles and images from that have been done and stuff like that. So it's like when you're doing an article, you actually kind of want to have access to Trello because that's where you can like go and get all of the references and content and links and stuff like that. So it's like people who are actually doing an article or like doing some kind of actual deeper form of content, it's good if they have access to Trello because that will make their work a lot easier. Like, but so that's kind of like where
I get it.
Yeah,
it.
so
So
that-
Trello
that's
is a
kind of-
good tool.
yeah,
I'm not saying it's
yeah.
not. It's not a bad tool, but I'm just trying to really make it simple for a person who, like, let's say me. If I produce an image, I just would like to know. I have an idea. I threw
Yeah.
together this image. If I stick it into, for example, this exact one, Basket DAO WIP. I assume this is work in progress.
Yeah.
So I just stuck it in there. Now, I would hope it would get put to use
got to
in
go.
some
I'm
ways.
really sorry.
Okay, no problem, DJ.
Cool.
I would hope
See
it
ya,
would
guys.
get put. See ya.
Bye-bye.
I hope it will get
Yeah,
put to use somehow, but I don't know how it's going to be put to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's important. Like I produced an image. It like I'm not the manager of the Twitter, or I'm not the liaison with the project. So I did that picture. So there's, I don't know, like this is the issue that I feel we need to solve. I'm not saying I don't know the solution, but I do feel that this is kind of, and I don't want to give people a whole bunch of responsibility, because it's a DAO. People take responsibility. They want to do that, so they should offer to do that. But I just don't know. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I mean, right? You guys, you're getting where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. With the image, like little mini pieces of content, like someone just does like a kind of a random kind of infographic. Like we've had quite a lot of that for Complify. Like there's 5 graphics that have
And
been done.
I think it's quality.
Here's my thought.
Like a picture like that would be okay.
I'm gonna write
ahead.
up a little. I'm gonna write up like a draft for a submission protocol for us, and I'm also gonna do a little bit more of an abstract on that onboarding workflow, and I'll bounce that off the two of you and see what your feedback is. That'll probably be in maybe tomorrow morning, day after. And we can, we're going to have to iterate on this, but right now it seems like the Trello board is something that people can reference, and it does seem like anybody can, you can look at it without having an account, right? You just need an account to interact with it. And do I understand that right, Dunks?
Sorry, I got sucked into reading this comment from Red in the Complify completed work. I think he asked for something which we haven't responded to. So I just didn't listen properly. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you need an account to?
Okay.
Do you need an account to look at Trello? You just need an account to submit and interact with it, correct?
You can have you can make it public. You can actually make the boards public. So yeah, no, you don't. It depends on the settings. That's the answer to your question. There's ways to set it up so that everyone could see it and not pay as well.
I don't think it's absolutely necessary. Like if somebody comes to Dunks and says, "Hey, Dunks, I'm writing an article. I can't find enough content," then Dunks can be like, "Okay, here, check this Trello board. It has a lot of stuff." But the majority of the people, we are all content creators, and we have all produced content in our way without ever looking at some Trello board. So I think we can all probably handle ourselves. And you're right, it is a valuable tool, but I don't think many people absolutely need it.
Yeah, no.
So if people, you can suggest to people, like someone who's like, say, like 0x Kowloon, if he's producing an article and you might say to him, "Hey, you're producing a lot of articles, but I noticed you're missing some pictures. How about you take some pictures from the Trello board?" Like this is kind of like a thing that you can suggest to certain people instead of making it like a part of the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we just want to make it easy so that I produce some content, I stick it here, and then I'm done. And then that's, I think, what most people are looking for. And if we have that kind of system, we will be able to onboard more creators more easily. It'll be very simple. You produce a video, you stick it here, and then in 1 month you will get paid for it.
Like what,
Then people would just be like, okay, yeah, that's easy, done.
what Trite was saying about actually talking to individual creators and getting a sense of what kind of content that they do and a little bit about their process. Like, I think that you were suggesting that that's something that you wanted to do, right? Trite?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So like when
I definitely want to connect with everybody and get a high level overview of their process and the tools that they use.
Exactly. So like if on one side we have like the same thing for clients, like when we onboard a client, we want to make it clear to them where they can go and what our process is a little bit so that they feel like they know what the fuck's going on. Right. And it's like the same with the creators. So like if we have like on one side, like getting information from them and storing that information somewhere so that people who need to know that know it. And so that then if a creator can get some information about a project and then they can propose a piece of content that, hey, I want to create this piece of content. And then we can be like, well, hey, look, there's some resources here for that. Like, so it's just these little kind of feedback loops and processes like,
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
Two things. First of all, Dunks, do you have Discord set to like turn on the mic when you start talking? Because you cut out a lot. You actually cut out a lot. Every time you take a breath, it cuts out, and we miss a word or two. So I think maybe you have it set up so that it turns off when you're not talking. There's like a kind of sensitive setting inside the microphone that says like
suppression.
only turn on when I start talking. Do you know what I mean? So double check that.
Is it better now? Is it better now?
I actually literally use it's always on, and I manually press the microphone button with my mouse like that. So I think it's the best way. It's like a walkie-talkie. I just turn it on and turn it off. If you use the settings where it's like, oh, turn off when I'm not talking, it can really cut you out a lot. How about this? How does this sound for an idea? If we have, say, I don't want to give people jobs, but let's assume we have Dunks, B, and Trite is the like 3 project managers, one for Complify, one for BasketDAO, and one for Genome, right? And everybody who produces content then sends it directly to you. And you are the only person who can stick it into the completed, you are the only person who has access to completed channel. Would this work? How does this sound? Do you know what I mean? Then you don't have, then it just has literally content, and no chatter at all.
I think that's a good idea.
And then in this picture, I need to find some use for it. And then you can hold on to it for a while and be like, oh, this guy just wants to do a Twitter, or I'm going to send a tweet out today with this because I have nothing to send out. I haven't sent out anything for Basket for a while. So here's a tweet with this image. I think this might be an easy way to do it, but then we have to clearly define who is in charge of which and who do I send my DMs to.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is the best way.
No, it would.
And then you guys can also be the filter with the client. The client, hey, what do you think of this? Do you want us to send this out? And they say yes. Oh, this is good. Go ahead, send it out. You know what I mean? I think it will solve a few problems. It's just, it creates work for individuals. So
yeah,
it's up to you guys, I think.
I'm not sure. I don't think my mic's working anymore.
I like that a lot. I think that will be good quality filter. Also, I'm about to dip, so when are we doing this next?
Same. Wait.
I think we're doing it in about 2.5 hours from now.
Another meeting?
That's a joke. That's a joke, man. I don't know. I think we do it once a week, man. Once a week at roughly this time. This was a long one, though. Actually, we've been in here for quite a while.
Yeah, I figured out the push to talk thing.
Aces. Nice. This has been a good meeting. I got some good direction. I'll touch base with y'all in my next office hours. Should be in a couple days. And I'll post something up. I'll post that little truck to let everybody know that I'm in. Y'all have a great day.
Awesome, man. Cool.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we should all just call it a night. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm gonna go take a nap too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of these little processes will get ironed out over the next couple of days. It would be good if we listened over to it. There's a few things in here that we do need to get onto. But yeah, we should just call,
All right,
call
guys.
it a night. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call it a night for night, and I think we can go with that. I like the idea of think about that, about having just the manager and everybody just send stuff to the manager and he filters it. I don't know if it's the best thing. New people won't know who to send it to. There's issues there as well. So
it could work in the short
consider.
term. It could work in the short term, but definitely wouldn't be a good long-term solution because the manager would just end up, unless they're like an ultimate organizational legend, they'll just end up being a bottleneck. They'll just be a bottleneck, and it will be like, yeah.
If we're producing tons of content for a single project, then yeah. But like, I'm thinking one manager per project, and then then we have a project bottleneck based on how many managers we have, right? So anyhow, we can consider this more.
I think we should definitely B. I think B for Genome would be awesome. Like, if we have like B handling the Trello and keeping a record of the content for Genome, and then we all just kind of work on this report process for Complify, and we'll learn a lot. And we're learning. Like we're only, this is like a third project. Like we learn these little few lessons. Like we learned a big one tonight. This is actually a big deal for the like what we learned about the onboarding of clients and just checking of work and stuff like that. It's like a few more of these and we'll have our processes together, you know, it'll come together.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we learned some good stuff, especially about the confusion of creating a very streamlined process for people to enter. I think is very good. The projects, right? Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks again for sticking around. B, I know you had to go, so thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Farewell, and talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, B, if you want to hang around for like a couple minutes and
Yeah,
more,
for sure.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Okay, see ya. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I like Caesar's idea, just having a point person. I don't think it would be too overwhelming, and I think we could still use the Discord channel, because if every project just has one point person, maybe take that person in a pin post, so the creators, when they come in and they provide content, they know who the point person is to take.
Yeah, let's make you the point person for Genome, right? So you're the person who you're in the Q&A channel, right? Like you're in the content channel, you're in those channels, you're like the boss of the Trello, and that you're like, you talk with the client, you talk with the creators. You're like managing the project, basically, and like.
Okay,
and,
I'll probably need some help from you, because I have not managed an entire project myself before.
No, that's cool, and I will definitely help you, and I'll show you like what I'm doing with BasketDAO, and like I actually need to work on Complify, because like there's still a bunch more stuff that we need to do before the end of the month to make them really have done like an awesome month for them where they're going to sign up again for next month. And so
Right.
work with me and help me on the Complify one and the BasketDAO one, right? I'll be like the project
Sure.
manager for those two.
Yeah.
Like it'll be, and you work, like help me and work with me and I'll tell you what I'm doing. And then for Genome, like you're the boss of that. And I'll help you with that. Yeah?
Could we have a channel on Discord just for the two of us, just so that we could discuss coordination?
Yeah, and I'm going to add you, B, into the I'll make a channel for us, but I'm going to add you into this channel here, Keys. I'll make a channel with you. I'll talk to the other guys, and I'll add you into this channel, Keys. That's where like Gabriel and Caesar and OX Kowloon. It's probably not the best channel for organizing the project, but probably yeah. Okay, I'll make a channel for you. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. You and me. Where shall I put it? I'll put it in Building Creator.
Okay.
I'll call it Project Managers.
That way it's our chat doesn't get lost
in
the chatter.
Okay, I've created a channel called Project Managers, right? And I'm adding you. Okay, can I just tagged you in it? Oops. So I just tagged you. I created a channel called Project Managers and added, yeah, cool.
I see it. Maybe a slight typo there. Managers.
Okay, I'll fix it. Okay, I'll fix it.
Okay, so this is where we could coordinate, and if you needed help with Compify or BasketDAO, and if I needed help with Genome, we'll coordinate here.
Yeah. And I think we've got another project that we'll be starting pretty soon too. Like, there's probably there's this project called Overlay. Did you see it? It's pretty
is
cool.
there a channel for it on? I know you guys were talking about it on Telegram, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen any chat about it.
Okay, I'll send you a link. It's a really cool project. Like, going to send you a link. And the guy's like, one of the guys is from like NASA. He's like worked on NASA. Another guy.
Oh, seriously? Wow.
And another guy is he's an MIT mathematics professor. And so
How did they find us?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I don't really know how they found us exactly. I think Jax, he just kind of found us. He was working prior to this. He was working for like a big stable coin. I can't remember. Was it like TUSD or some stable coin? You know, with like 30 employees kind of thing. He was working with that. And he left that job and joined. So Overlay is like really interesting. And the guy, and the Discord. Like, okay, here's one thing for the project manager. This is what I reckon. Like, the project manager has to be in the Discord of the project. Like like you got to be in the Discord. Like for example, for Genome, like you got to find the Discord and be in it. Because then, like, then you just kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know how, like,
Honestly, I haven't looked at Genomes because I have been just waiting for Gabriel to do the interview as the starting point. But I think there's a lot of chat going on already in the channels.
Yeah. I was kind of the same. I was just like, I would have looked at it, but I actually thought it seemed like a kind of scam. You know how some projects are just scams? And then, but now I realize that it seems like it's actually
it's a serious project.
It's a serious, legit project. And I think that was a mistake by me. I actually made a mistake because I wasn't really giving it the respect that it deserves. So then it kind of, I added the guy, Gabriel tagged me and he said, Dunks, can you add this guy into the channel? And I added him into the channel and I politely said, hey, here's a channel, like, welcome, etc. Like I did it properly. But I think in the back of my mind, I wasn't, like, if you don't know the project, then you're not going to do things properly.
It looks
you know
like
what I
a
mean?
scam because Genomes,
Exactly.
crypto,
It just reminds you of like a 2017 ICO, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But it's not. Like, it might be a little bit. Like, my theory is that just about everything is a scam, even like, basically, to some degree or another, everything's a scam, right? Like, even flowers are a scam. They like scam bees into kind of taking the pollen, you know? Like, everything's kind of a scam. Like, but there's that kind of scam, and then there's like an actual scam, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll take a look at this in
Yeah.
the next few days here.
Yeah.
And Gabriel's interview is gonna be done today, right? And that's gonna get posted
Yeah.
on YouTube, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And so that will be good because it will give us, like, that's the thing, like with the docs or with anything, like, that's why Discord's good, because Discord tells you what's going on, because people are like, when farming, when new thing, you know, like, and so and the team's like, oh, this is what's happening, so you know, and like that'll be good. Like, same as an interview, you know, like it'll tell us what's happening, when it's happening, hopefully, and then we'll kind of know, and then that's when you can be like, oh well, okay, it makes sense to kind of make this content because this is what's happening. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because all the other content is just trash, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's just like there's really good content, and then there's like just content that just retells you what you already could have got from another source, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and which is fine. Like, if it's for a particular audience or whatever, like, it's not evil, you know, to do any kind. You know, like, it's fine to make content, but like, if a lot of our content is really well thought out and timed based on what the project is doing right now and what they need, then we're gonna do well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what Genome needs, and I have no idea, like, because I haven't even really looked at it, like, but I'm pretty sure if I went into the Discord and had a look around and then watched this interview with Gabriel, I would have an idea, you know?
Yeah. And I think what Trite brought up earlier in the meeting was really good as well. Basically, make sure we find out what the projects want.
Exactly.
And the project managers or the point person or whatever could act as a filter as well. So if we see a content that does not meet the requirement of that particular project, then we could filter that out, sort of.
Right. And like ideally it doesn't even get to that point where someone's making a piece of content that isn't going to really work. Like ideally we would get, that wouldn't happen because it would be clear to that person. Like it will happen for sure. Do you know what I mean? Like it's definitely going to happen, but like we should have some stuff in place that gives people like a really, because, okay, let me say, for example, Complify. Like Complify has been a pretty hard project because right now there just really isn't that much. Like it's hard. It's a little bit hard right now.
I saw
to
in
come
the
up with
chat
stuff,
that
like-
I think Redemption was talking about they're gonna have their eel farming starting up again, and they needed promotion.
Yeah, there's stuff coming. That's the thing. That's why, like, it's actually good that we haven't produced that much content yet. We've produced quite a bit of
I
content.
think we
Paul.
produced
Yeah, we
a
have.
fair bit.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
But we also have some left to go, which is good because there's a lot of stuff coming, and like, so we're in a good place with Complify, like that, you know, like. If we had produced all the content already, that would be bad. That wouldn't be good, in my opinion, because it would mean that like there would be like 3 or 4 extra pieces of content that probably didn't tell anyone anything new, didn't really have that bigger impact for the project. There's another thing as well that's important to realize is that not everything needs to be an actual piece of content. Like one tweet from the right person, even if it's just like, hey, look at this project. Like,
just a mention.
Or like whatever, just a mention. Like can be way more impactful than like a whole big article. You know what I mean?
I think so.
So like,
if it's from a prominent person.
Exactly.
Or if someone mentioned it in conjunction with like a controversial issue, for example, then it could have a big impact.
Exactly. Like, so we kind of, and that's also another good reason why, like, for example, Gabriel's only just doing his interview now. Like, there's probably a reason for that. Like, Gabriel's probably actually thought about that. Like, and he's doing it now because probably there's stuff dropping and he knows that we need to give it a good push. Like, everything's going to be fine for Complify. It's going to work out really well. Like, and same for Genome. Like, we haven't fucked anything up. Like, it was a little bit of a mistake. But that's that tiny level of mistake that we did just by saying one thing, like, this is how things are going to work, and then doing it slightly different. Like, that's quite a small mistake to make. It's like, you know, sometimes when you're doing everything right, but you make a mistake, and you're like, oh shit, I've been doing everything right, and I made this little mistake, you know, like, and it's like, it's actually it's a pretty good place to be, you know, like,
yeah.
So, it's all going to work itself out fine, and the stuff with the Trello and the organizing and stuff, all of that will work itself out too. Like it's just stuff that you can't really immediately have right. Like there's literally no way. It's impossible to just immediately have it right. Like it just isn't possible.
For sure.
So it will work itself out, and some of the time it will work itself out through mistakes. You know, like it's just inevitable. But there's definitely something that we can do with that onboarding thing for clients. Like we just literally send them like some more information because like we haven't given them almost any information like about the process of working with us. Like, so like we're just gonna. I'm thinking just to do like a page on the website once they sign up, like, or even before they sign up. We just give them that, like, and it just says like a bit more information about how we can work. You know, like it's just tiny little things like that. That like agencies have like a shit ton of documents. There's like documents for clients to sign, briefs, and then like they have a lot of processes. You know, it's like, and then there's a lot of like a lot of like feedback loops between different people working. It's just there's quite a lot of processes in like an agency, and so basically that's what we're like. We are like we're an agency. We're doing work for other people. So like basically that's just how we kind of. It's that makes it easy because like there's millions of agencies, and like there's established ways that they work. We just like basically just copy that, and like yeah, we don't really need much more than. Well, I reckon we could probably work like that for a year before we even had like a token or anything.
Yeah, yeah. I think what Trite is doing is very important for us to start out. Basically, we would have the groundwork, a guideline to follow, basically, for both creators and projects. When they come in, they would have the right expectations.
Yeah.
And when creators come on board, they know who to go to and when they create content, where to post it. I think it needs to be very clear.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do a better job of making it clear. I feel like it should be done on the website before they even get to Discord, for both clients and creators. So we just have like a
a pathway, maybe like a flow chart.
Yeah, like maybe just like a page that gives them some information, and then a form that asks them some information. Like, for example, like
I thought we have that because I filled out a form before I joined the DAO.
Okay, so the form
it was
you
like
filled, was that the Google Sheet or the?
No, it was like there was a join us button.
Wait, did I make that?
I don't know. I don't know where my form went to, but
Hold on, let me check.
when Caesar invited me to join, I filled out the form and just sort of.
Hold on, I think I must have made if it was on the website, then I must have made it. But I think. Okay, let me just log into the website. Let me share my screen and show you the website, the inside of the website. If you want to, you got to go though. But if you have to.
Yeah. I should probably get going here actually.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyways, I will check that form, and
Okay.
see. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Chat with you later.
Okay. Awesome. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
What is there for?